Thank you, Nadra and Azrin, for taking the time to meet up with me. So I understand that both of you are married couple, both of you?
Yes. 4
Alhamdulillah.
years. Alhamdulillah.
Please share with me a little bit about yourself. What's your background?
I am Nadra Mustafa. I grew up in Subang Jaya. So currently I am a freelance psychologist. So I do a lot of ongoing projects that involve things that are related to psychology. I see clients, kids who have high functioning and stuff like that. And I'm also a behavioral scientist for a small startup based in Singapore, among others. I'll take care of my child, so I'm a work-at-home mom, which is not easy.
I grew up in Subang Jaya as well, born and bred in Subang Jaya. I did law. I read law during uni in UIA. Recently, I just started my own business, so pray for me. Hopefully, it turns out for the best.
What is your reaction when you hear that Islam oppress women? Okay. Have you ever felt oppressed by Islam?
Before I actually knew the deen, I guess it was like growing up. It's always like you cannot do this, you cannot do that. It's like you cannot do everything before you actually understand something. So, but as soon as I've learned deeper about the deen, about Islam and all that, the more I learn, the more I know, and the more I understand. It doesn't oppress women at all.
Like what she said, let me add to it. In Malaysia, the setting is in such a way that we learn about the hukum first rather than knowing why was the hukum being sent down to mankind, right? Or to the religion.
What do you understand about the concept of hijab in Islam?
Okay, this goes way back before I donned the hijab, because as a person who has always been interested in life, I remember as a child when I was 10 years old, I'll lay on the bed and go like, what am I doing here? Like asking questions in my head, but I never really got the answer. So it was more of like an identity seeking for me as a child even. For me, hijab is my identity. I remember before I donned the hijab, I was telling him now, like I wanted to wear the hijab, but I'm really scared because it's really scary for me at that time.
Why do you feel scared?
The thing about hijab is that I guess girls pride themselves for their nice hair and all that stuff. Their confidence level is tied up to how their appearance are, and it's your identity. People are going to perceive you as how you present yourself. Sadly, whether you like it or not, yes, the heart is like the most precious thing and all, but whether you like it or not, people are going to instantly judge you based how you look. And I don't know if I was ready to kind of let go of that, but I was scared because of this pressure, and we were supposed to get married, and like, will I look pretty wearing the hijab when I get married and those kind of stuff. But he was supportive, and my aunts were supportive, my parents were supportive, yeah, alhamdulillah. So, and it never felt better.
How do you feel when you saw your wife wearing the hijab?
Actually, she started wearing the hijab before we were married. Obviously, I wanted to marry a person who wears hijab, but I did not want to force her to wear hijab because of my requirement or my liking or things like that. Because I believe that if you want to change, it has to come from within, and you can't really change a person. She's gonna one day rebel or just relapse or things like that, right? So I was trying to support her as best as I can, and I think for a person to start wearing a hijab, I think it's a change. It's a big change.
Do you dress the way that you do because you want to follow the Arabs?
Of course not. Arabization.
Is it true that in Islam, Muslim women have no rights?
No, of course not. In the last khutbah, Rasulullah SAW, before he passed away or he left us, he really emphasized on the rights of women. So I mean, and there's a whole chapter of women in the Quran, so doesn't have a chapter says the man. No, it has a chapter on the women. So yes, it says a lot of things, I think. So yeah.
For instance, just on inheritance, right? The Quran has prescribed a number that can't be changed throughout, this whole life, right? And people might argue, wait, the guy gets more percentage or more wealth from women. But here's the thing that a lot of people probably misconstrued or left this behind, because whatever inheritance is given to the women is just for their own. It's just to keep and just to do whatever they want.
Oh my.
But whatever the wealth that the man inherit, the man of the family inherits, he has to use that money to
For the
take care
family.
of the family, the whole family. So the religion is clear, it's fine, it's perfect, but in reality, I don't know whether that's happening or not, and that sort of tarnishes the reputation in general.
Is it true that in Islam, women have lower status than men?
Of course not. No way.
The fact that the saying that that Jannah lies under your mother's
Mother's
feet, I don't know how is that degrading. You tell me, how is that degrading a woman? In general, I think the religion actually protects women better
Yes.
than men.
Than feminism.
They prioritize women more,
Yes.
but a lot of people misconstrues this and thinks that it's a prohibition and it's an oppression. It's not a form of oppression. It's actually a form of
Protection. No,
naikkan.
upgrading their level or
Yeah, you celebrate women. You know.
why people think Islam is oppressing women is because how the worldview has been carved by the media. For example, women has to dress in a certain manner as how the media has portrayed to us. So I think that's where the actual idea of oppression comes from.
Yeah.
Like, just because you wear a burkini at the beach and not a bikini, it's you're like, oh, kasiannya they're oppressed, those kind of things. But if you really really think about it, who asked us to wear bikini at the first place?
In reality, there are Muslim women who are oppressed.
Right.
From your point of view, is it because of Islam?
Of course not, no. Especially those honor killings and all that stuff. Of course, it's not. I always feel really sad reading those kind of news. This kind of things that are happening in the name of Islam really don't have a true and sound understanding.
It's not nothing to do about religion. What the religion allows is to include a certain cultural practices which is in line with the Sharia. Islam is very versatile, right? And I think all these wrong practices are being brought from the from the olden days, which is clearly not in line with the Sharia, yet people still practice it. So I think it's nothing to do with Islam. It's just cultural practices.
What is your message to the people who say Islam oppresses women?
Learn, understand, and get your sources right first. I suppose. I mean, it's funny how we really emphasize on getting your source right in academic writing or I mean, I used to lecture, and in universities, in colleges, we always tell our students to check your sources. Don't take them from Wikipedia because you don't know who says it. Anybody can edit Wikipedia. So it's the same thing. You want to learn something sacred. You want to learn a secret text. So learn from the right scholars and people who actually study them. Don't just Google, but seek to the right sources. Go to the right sources. Go to the right people to really understand.
There's a lot of people who relies on Sheikh Google and Ustaz Wikipedia, right? But I mean, it's good if you want to learn, but it shouldn't be your only source. You should actually check with scholars and meet people.
With Muslims.
Yeah, and
Not Muslims. Sorry.